All right, so this is the entrepreneurship principles in short interview with.
David Nassau.
And David, as an entrepreneur, what do you do?
So I host hopscotch tournaments, raising money and awareness for multiple sclerosis. I run a nonprofit called Topping for a Cure, and we're essentially a recess for everyone. So we host all sorts of recess games. We focus on the hopscotch tournament, and we branch out from there through foursquare, hula hooping, jump roping, basketball, and football.
Awesome. And now, first, what does it mean for you to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah. So when it comes to entrepreneurship, I hold the word entrepreneur really highly. And when I'm talking about what it takes to be an entrepreneur, like what it means to be an entrepreneur, really my definition of that comes from two different people. There's a lady that I had an internship with 2 years ago called, her name was Phoebe Miles, and she's very super smart lady. Look up to her a lot, and she took the word entrepreneur and had she said it's a French word, and she broke it down into the syllables and the prefix and suffixes and whatnot. And she basically derived it to entre and preneur, and it was basically, from what I remember, it was like a taker of what's in between. And the way I interpreted that as a creator of value where none existed before. And her point with bringing that up was saying that entrepreneurs are greedy, but we're in reality, they're just, in her mind, and the way she was talking about it was saying entrepreneurs aren't greedy, they're just taking where there wasn't anything before, they're creating value where none existed. So as a result, they're actually adding value where there wasn't before. And so when it comes to Hopping for a Cure, we add value as far as we serve the population of students and families who have MS on a very personal level that the MS Society does not. And there's a gap there because the MS Society focuses on a larger, older age group, whereas we feel like we can make a bigger impact on the younger age group on a more personal level. Specifically right now in the state of Florida, we have 3 chapters, one here at UF, one at Florida State, and one in South Florida. I did say there was a second person that I derived my definition of entrepreneurship from, and his name is Jeff Stamp. He's the creator of Baked Lays, and this is a story more than like a definition, but he basically spoke to the Entrepreneurship Club a couple years ago and had an example where he asked a kid in the audience who was wearing a handmade bracelet how much that bracelet's worth to him. And the kid said he bought it on a trip to Colombia one year, and so Jeff Stamp didn't care. He said, "How much is it worth to you?" And basically the kid was going to. He said it was a couple bucks, but he said, "Okay, I want to buy that from you. How much do you sell it to me for?" And the kid named his price, and I think the price he was very low. And then Jeff Stamp said, "Is that all you need? Is that all you want? Is that all you want? Is that all you want?" The kid ended up saying $20. Because to the kid only bought it for maybe like $1 or $2. He's saying $20, so it was a really good deal. Jeff Stamp took out $20 from his wallet, gave it to the kid. The kid took off his wristband, gave it to Jeff Stamp, and I assume it was, the kid thought it was a joke. Jeff Stamp was serious. He's like, all right, that was a great deal. Why? And he asked the audience, he was like, who got ripped off? And he said, did I get ripped off or did he get ripped off? And generally the audience said that he got ripped off, but in his mind, he would have paid hundreds of dollars for that wristband, but meanwhile he only got it for $20, whereas the kid, he sold it for $20, thought he got a great deal because he only bought it for about $2. And so he made a huge profit in that kid's mind, but meanwhile if the kid kept saying no and kept raising his price, Jeff Stamp would have paid however much it was for the wristband. So I mean, basically knowing that whatever price you set, you just have to keep you have to make sure that you realize the value of what you have and how much you're able to sell it for. And then basically the combination between that story and my experience with Miss Miles was shaped my perception of entrepreneurship.
Awesome, that's great. Now, the next question for you, David, is what skill sets or traits do you personally think an entrepreneur should have?
Yeah, really good question because, I mean, the way I think is more or less anybody can be entrepreneurial. Whether or not you're an entrepreneur or not, it's just I feel like there's a mindset of being entrepreneurial. Basically, that's going back to Phoebe's definition, and basically one of the things that I base my definition on is creating value where none existed before. So that can be either creating a nonprofit like I did, and I'm creating the value for the people who have MS, or if you can work in a company right now you're doing work for a class, but basically you were resourceful. So in order to be an entrepreneur, you just need to be seeing whatever your resources you have and make the best of them. So you're in your resources. You know what I mean? So you're being resourceful. You're being entrepreneurial and gathering information from the people who are relatively close to you, right? That, in my opinion, is like a very basic form, but you went out and are creating this content that hopefully is valuable to yourself and potentially other people. So there's a thing about being entrepreneurial, and there's a thing about being an entrepreneur, and I think like everybody can be entrepreneurial. The thing that separates maybe an entrepreneur from like a entrepreneur is more or less the action of really going all in with whatever you're working on. So right now, I just read an article online on LinkedIn. It was basically saying how the difference is if you're working in if you are an entrepreneur, that means you're hopefully not working for anybody else. You're working for yourself, and you're taking a lot of risk with that. And the risk is not necessarily risky as far as bad risk. It's more on the risk of it's thought through risk. It's risk that is might seem risky to a lot of other people, but to you, you've thought it through so many times that it's perceived risk at that point. And so basically, you need to be able to take some risks, whether they're the most popular choices or not. You need to be able to stick through. I've become a lot more persistent since I've started Hopping for a Cure back in high school. Whenever people tell me no, I'll keep going back in different ways and just keep asking them for stuff. And you also have to be resourceful with what you have. So again, with Hopping for a Cure, we don't have a lot as far as a nonprofit, but with the stuff we're able to do with our limited resources, we're still able to make money at every single event that we've had. We've never lost money. We were always able to create value for the people who attend our events and our sponsors, and that's just basically by seeing whatever resources we have, whether that be human capital or financial capital, and making the most of it with what we have. So those, I think, would be my three.
That's a really great answer.
It's a big answer.
Yeah,
sorry,
but that's good. Like
stuff.
you explain like the reasons why, you know.
Yeah. So if you're gonna edit this, that you could probably just like dice me up a little bit.
That's okay.
Start
That's
rambling
okay.
once in a while.
No, it's fine. Really, it's good. It's good. You know.
Good.
And my final question for you, David, is since you're an entrepreneur and you've been doing this for many years now, specifically as like a charitable entrepreneur, like what for you personally have been your most difficult challenges?
Yeah. Basically, there's a book that is facing right now. I forgot what the name of the book is off the top of my head, but basically it's about being a level 5 leader. And what that means is there are different levels of leadership according to this book, and level 4 leadership is what most people are and what they strive to be, which is basically a great leader in a company when they're physically present and they're able to get a lot of things done really fast and really efficiently and basically optimizing what they have. But then being a level 5 leader is being able to retire, being able to leave, not being able to be present, but still having the organization not only continue but flourish without you. And that is through what you've been able to establish building up to that point. So being a level 5 leader is something that I'm continually working on, and it's been a struggle, but again, in high school when I started Hopping for a Cure, it failed after I left. But beyond that, after high school, that's not there. So right here at UF, I'm trying to be that level 5 leader and develop other leaders to go up that ladder of sorts to become at least like a level 3 or 4 leader by the time I'm gone. So hopefully they can develop to become that level 5 leader after me, and then being that. So like that's like been a really big struggle, which is just to try to really recruit and keep the good talent that is here. The issue with being a nonprofit is specifically in a nonprofit that doesn't affect a lot of people, and a nonprofit or an organization on campus that isn't a vocational thing. So it's not like a market. If you're a marketing major, you join American Marketing Association. If you're a finance club, there's a finance club for you. So I mean, we're not vocational, and MS doesn't affect a lot of people, and it's not the popular thing to do. It's not Dance Marathon where every organization on campus does like a For the Kids thing, and it's not cancer where it's like a Relay for Life thing that everybody's done since high school and middle school. So we're a new thing, and so when it comes to recruiting people, just trying to show them the value that they have by joining Hopping for a Cure and the value that we create as a result of their direct impact through the scholarships that we give out and through the people we help. So last year here at UF, we already awarded a $1,500 scholarship. And so the team that's been working with me for a couple years, that was a big moment because that was only a thought process. That was something that I said that would happen if we kept with it. And it did happen last year, and hopefully we'll be able to continue and maintain that. So that's the struggle. The main struggle is just being able to start something, but also to continue it and let it grow, even without you potentially. And that's been more or less something that's been on my mind a lot recently.
Yeah.
So that's been a big struggle, yeah. But I mean, I think this year I have a lot of things in place. I've learned a lot from the past couple years, and I'm very, very confident with the group of people we have this year in Hopping Ferg here that I'm really positive about what the future holds. And also expanding to other universities, but that's a whole other game in its own way.
Yeah, another step into the future.
Yeah. But the biggest struggle hasn't necessarily been that because we haven't really pursued that. We're starting to pursue that this year. The biggest struggle has just been maintaining our membership and the people who are really dedicated. But I feel like over the past year and a half, I've developed the right people. And so hopefully this year we can capitalize on that and really make the most of it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
David, thank you so much.
Yeah.
This interview means so much, and it's going to
Yeah.
help a lot.
Good.
So
I'm glad that I'm here.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
going to see if I can try to, link, Hopping for your charitable,
Hopping Ferg.
your cause.
Yeah.
Excuse me sometimes.
You're good. Yeah,
I'm
it's
going
a
to try
long
to
day.
link it here to the video so that
Good.
people can have an opportunity to see it too and see the work you've done so far. So thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Let me know if you need anything else.
All right.